Greetings, friends, and welcome to week 1 of the spring session. This week, we're going to be digging into the wood element. And today's lecture, we're going to look at the introduction to the energetics of wood. So the tone of the energy of wood is all about abundant growth and potential that is happening in the spring. Our health strategies are about creating the own personal inner spring within our bodies. So that's cleansing, renewing, creating flexible movement, and restoring a connection to our purpose. Once we have that space open and we connect to that purpose, then it's about planning, organizing, and directing or planting seeds into what we're going to accomplish and bring to fruition this year. So this is all about having vision as well as expansion, flexibility, and creating this physical place for the spirit or the tone of wood energy to move through our bodies. The character of wood, mu, you can see it here on the right, is drawn as a tree with a central trunk that grows branches and grows towards the light. I'm going to read to you from one of my favorite books, Characters of Wisdom. This is a great reference that we'll be using throughout the program about the character of wood. The element of spring is wood. It is drawn as a tree with a central trunk out of which grows its branches and roots. Trees, when they are young and flexible, move easily with the wind and weather. Even as they grow to greater heights, they still adjust to changes of the season while being firmly rooted in the ground. Like all plants, they grow towards the sun and the light. In this way, it can be said that they never lose their direction, for they always follow this internal source of light. In spring, trees suddenly flower and inspire each day with beauty, filling us with hope. As their delicate green leaves fill 100 branches, we are moved by the vibrant growth of life and can feel the energy of the sap rising up again. So here we are waking up after the long winter, starting to rise up, starting to feel the warmth of the light and the sun, and also starting to vision and think about how we can renew a connection to our purpose and stay on our course and stay in that direction. So there's two aspects. Typically in Chinese medicine, we look at the philosophy of yin and yang. So this can be likened to light and dark, active and passive, and inner and outer aspects. Each of the elements has two organs associated with it that run or manifest the potential and energy of this element. In the case of wood, we have the liver, which is the yin aspect, and the gallbladder, which is the yang aspect. The liver is said to be the free and easy wanderer and is responsible for the storage of blood, the movement of qi, and takes the plan of the soul and our purpose and organizes it into active biophysical processes. In the coming weeks, we're going to be digging into all of the physiology as well as the consciousness patterns of both of these organ systems and really figure out how we can optimize the ability of our body to plan and hold the energy of our soul so we can manifest it in the world. The gallbladder, again, is the yang aspect of the wood element and takes the plans of the liver, takes the information and the resources and catalyzes it. This is all about direction, motivation, and movement. It's the pivot point or the decider that gets to say, this is when we go and how we go and where we go. We're going to dig really deep into this from a behavioral health standpoint, as well as ways that we can support the rhythmic contraction and movement of energy through the physical gallbladder. Gallbladder is also responsible for synthesizing, taking in information and figuring out what to do with it, and again, catalyzing and motivating our direction forward. Each of the elements has basic concordances that represent different movements, emotions, senses, and body systems that are governed. In the case of the wood element, it's all about movement of chi, movement of energy, movement of the physical body. This idea that we're waking up, rising up, taking action, and beginning to expand. We notice naturally in the time of spring that there's a lot of wind. This wind is also this idea of change and new direction. The emotion associated with the wood element is that of anger. Anger in its balanced sense is looking at the source of direction as well as boundaries and our ability to have assertiveness. We're going to spend a lot of time in week 3 or 4, I believe, looking at the emotion of anger and how to harmonize it and work with it in its most balanced way. The vision is ruled by the wood elements. So each of the elements rules one of our senses. And in this case, we're looking at vision, clarity, foresight, and the ability to see the plan, see the purpose. So not only the tangible physical sight is connected to the wood element as well as the tiers, but the more metaphorical capacity to see ourselves in life, to see our purpose, and to see our direction as well. Liver, gallbladder, wood element is all about the color green, all the shades of green. So I invite you, as you're listening, to just take a glance outside, or this week pay attention to all the different hues of green that are naturally popping up, the bright sun that is coming back higher in the sky, illuminating these different greens, this new growth, new potential, these shoots of intelligence that are cropping up as the baby plants that will be turning into fruit and creativity in the summer. The liver, gallbladder, wood element rules the body systems of the ligaments and tendons. So essentially, wood element energy modulates our capacity to be flexible and to not have to break when we're challenged. So how do we be flexible and bend with the intention that heaven has offered us and how we move through our world around us? So a lot of the practices that we're going to look at, as well as the food and movement practices in this series, are going to be designed to really connect to flexibility and opening up the body, allowing this beautiful container of our body to carry energy through it effectively. And lastly, but not least, the wood element is responsible for the consciousness of planning and organizing. So we're going to dig deep, deep into this in our biophysical modules, where we're looking at all the jobs that the liver does in the body and how it actually takes all the information and resources that the body has and directs different things like detoxing, synthesizing proteins, building hormones, and supporting activity and movement. So this planning and organizing, the ability to figure out what are we going to do to get to the goal, how are we going to organize our steps and organize the way our body runs to assure that we have the fuel we need to accomplish whatever it is that we seek to accomplish this year, whether that be personally, professionally, health-wise, or anything that we seek to bring to fruition. The liver, gallbladder, wood energies this time of spring is the perfect time to set up the plan and organize the steps to well-being throughout the year. Stay tuned for the second part of this Wood 101 recording in the back end, and I look forward to hearing from you on how all of these ideas and concordances set with how you're feeling about your body at this time in the spring season.